that's something right there to be talked about. Whenever I come back and do an interview with you, that's something to talk about. Like, how have
Definitely.
I put out a new version of Kicking It in Tennessee like 4 years ago, and you haven't heard it? If Kicking It in Tennessee is your favorite song, like
Man,
what has the algorithm done to your boy?
Right?
yeah, that's a real thing, man. The
I'm
algorithm fucks
telling
shit
you,
up.
that's something to talk about
That's
because
real.
if it'll happen to me, it'll happen to anybody. Like, you got to be careful. Like, you'll get whatever they call blacklisted, shadow
Yep.
banned.
Shadow
I've
ban.
heard I've heard a story, like I don't know if this is true, so I don't know if it's something you want to say for the interview or talk about it, but someone was talking about it had a lot to do with the label that you signed. They fucked you up.
No,
They no, okay.
no. If anything, I would take more of the blame than them. Uh, it really comes down to money. It comes down to budget. So whenever I left from the label, and I left from the label, like I didn't get kicked off the label or anything. I was like, you know what? I want to go back to being an independent artist. I don't think I can change the way that I sound for Nashville country for Warner Records. You know what I'm saying? Because they really wanted
Right.
me to broaden who I was musically so we could bring in more fans. You know what I'm saying? And I just really wasn't ready to go there because I still enjoyed being me. So I left from Warner, and when I did that, I left a lot of money on the table, and which is fine. But I also at the same time, that's when I went from being Big Smo to Smo. So at one point, and I don't take that off the table for being part of the problem. When I did a name change,
Yeah,
you know,
rebranding. Yeah.
rebranding, even just by changing my name like that, made a big difference because then there was two different, Spotify pages, two Apple pages, and people are still looking up Big Smo. They don't think I've put out anything new because I release everything as Smo, so they're never looking under the Smo name, And if you go there, there's a whole catalog that people haven't even heard. So that's what just made me want to mention that because you haven't even heard. That's why I said like the new My Life in a Jar, the new Kicking It in Tennessee. These records are so old that I did back when I didn't have, money or a way to have production outside of me doing it myself. And then once I had a team of producers and stuff, I went back and recut some of these records and did it with a live band rather than just like a program beat. So the
Hell
new
yeah.
the new Kicking It in Tennessee is all live. The new My Life in a Jar is all live. Like if you go to the classics, if you look up Smo, the classics, there's like 6 songs and it's all live. It's amazing. And it's some of the old songs. And it's because people are like, we missed the old Smo. And I was like, man, I bet that. I feel you. Let me go grab some of these old records, rework them, make them sound, like I put some time and money into them and give you a different version of records. Some
Right.
Hell
people are
yeah.
like, hey, I like the old one better. And I'm like, that's cool. But I don't know how to make brand new old stuff.
Right.
Right.
And then when
Right.
you've been doing this for as long as I have, and people are like, we missed the old Smo, I'm just like, I don't know how to be, I don't know how to pull that off for you sonically.
And it's one of those like a lot of those like not even talking about your hits, but just some of those songs, the passion that you felt in that moment. It's like it's almost like the lightning in a bottle moment. Like
Yeah.
not that you move past that. You may still feel like that in your life, but in that time, like that passionate shit is what came out then. So it's hard to try to
Yeah.
recapture that.
Bro,
Years later.
I've been through a lot since then. I'd say just having my open heart surgery, that probably, and then, like 5 years, 6 years of sobriety and life 10-year lifestyle change and losing 225 pounds and like everything that I've been through, the divorces and all that shit. Like you evolve and all that, and you may never be able to go back to being the old you. But like
Right.
I don't think I've ever steered from like the artist that I have always been. Like I'm always passionate about every song that I do And I really wish that, I hope that my fans hear it. But I also feel like a lot of my fans don't even get to hear my music anymore because of this disconnect. You know what I'm saying? So if there are fans out there that are listening, you haven't heard any of my new music, like if the last song that you heard was Working, I've released like 9 albums since then. So please go look it up. SMO Motion TV right here on YouTube. You know, I just released a country song last year and people are just hearing it for the first time this year. And I'm like, man, I did a lot of promotion on it and everything last year. And they're like, I'm seeing people in Walmart the other day, like, man, I just heard your new record, Something About Love. I was like, man, it came out last year. They're like, oh, I just heard it. I'm like, man, how the fuck does that happen? But I also don't pay for advertisement.
Right.
Like, I am officially the most I pay for nothing. I pay for no advertisement, no marketing. I do everything organic. So that may also have something to do with it. And I don't know that other people do pay. I'm sure they do because it's something that's offered. And I used to when I was with the label. But when I went back to being independent, I was like, man, fuck all that. Let's just do it organic. And, you know, and that may have been where I dropped the ball, is I stopped paying for marketing and promotion online and stuff. So,
well, I've seen a lot of things that once you start paying for it, if you stop, they fuck you up in the algorithm on purpose to try to get you to start paying again.
Yeah. And I'm sure that,
well, it would make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Same thing, you know, just like anything else. When you stop paying for the subscriptions, you get the emails and your thing. Come back to, you know,
20% off.
Yeah, we'll give you, you know, Hulu for the next 6 months.
I didn't
for $2.
send those coupons. I didn't send those coupons out. So, yeah, there's been a disconnect, and that's something that, like, as these younger artists, like, take it from me, somebody who is still doing music and is dealing with an issue right now on this right here, the algorithm not allowing me to reach, you know, at least 1 million fans that I have between my, you know, my YouTube and my socials and everything, and easy, you know, 1 million people that I can't reach because of this algorithmic fucking shutdown. I think what do they call it? Gatekeeping.
Yeah, doing gatekeeping.
Yeah, that's what it is. The algorithm is doing gatekeeping on me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta pay that $4.99.
Gotta figure out how to fight that.